Okay, since we are officially live, so how am I supposed to share the link with you? Okay. Okay, since we are officially live, so how am I supposed to share the link with you? I don't know, guys, so I'm sharing with you in the chat box the link in case, if you can open it, please, and check that we are live. Diana just did, exactly. That is the link. I turned off the volume of YouTube because it has echo and it repeats. So I don't know. I'm sharing this link with that. Oh, good. Let's do a test. Can you share your presentation, please?
Sure. Hold on. I'm trying to. Yes.
Yeah.
Give me please. Okay. Give me please just 10 seconds. I'll be back. I swear.
Yeah. I swear.
Of course, if I don't get back, I get 0. I know.
No. It's just that. Wait, guys. Can you see what do you see in the link that I shared? Like the live feed, or what? I'm sharing my presentation now. Okay, tell me if you can see it. Can you see it?
Yes, teacher.
Yeah. Are there any other technical issues I should be aware of? Can you hear any echo or something?
In my case, no.
Everything is working okay.
Yeah,
so
your voice is normal.
It's normal, this.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay, great. So I'm going to stop sharing, so you will only see my face there. And I'm going to share the link with the teachers. No, not yet. When I got this ready.
Okay.
In the 5, maybe teachers or 6.
What?
Sorry?
The teacher share the link with other teachers. For example, in maybe 5 or 6 presentation. It's a joke.
I didn't get it. Okay.
When Miguel is presenting his or Liliana or Cairo.
Yeah, right.
Not yet.
I know, Diana.
I'm scared.
Your opportunity big opportunity for be famous.
Yeah, your chance to shine.
Yeah, shine and bright.
Be famous.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll share the screen and let.
Yeah.
It says the host set up that the function of sharing screens is not available for participants.
I'll fix it now. Try now.
Let me check. Hold on.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
It works?
I think we are live now. We are officially live. So, Oigo, are you ready for me to share the link with the teachers?
Yes, but here's the thing. When I'm trying to move to the next slide, it gets like kind of stuck. Okay, now it doesn't.
Okay.
But
so
okay.
Fingers crossed. Let's see how it goes. So
what do you see right now? The full screen? No, right?
Full screen? Yes, I can see it.
The full screen? Are you serious right now?
Yes.
Nothing else?
Or maybe in the
In the upper side is what I mean.
Docs.google.com.
But it's not, I mean, it's annoying or it's not?
It's okay.
Ah, okay, perfect. So,
Okay,
really,
Oigo,
if I were you,
I let you
will.
know when to start. Yeah.
Okay, okay, but okay.
Okay. Okay. Okay, Oigo, ready when you are. We are live.
Okay, perfect. Okay, hold on. No, this got stuck, you see? Okay. Good evening, everyone. So tonight I'll talk about Braille. And before checking all this information, I would like to share with you guys a quote that I came across, and it says, "The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but not vision," by Helen Keller. Well, Helen Keller was a scientist and she was blind. So to me, this statement is saying like, you know what? Having like a physical issue, like a physical condition, doesn't mean that you are incapable of doing something or reaching a goal, you know, like you are strong enough to achieve anything you want. And yes, like Helen Keller was an example of that. And she succeeded in her career, in her field, and nothing held her back. So keep that in mind, guys. Let's move on with the next slide. And Braille. Well, the concept of Braille, it comes from its creator, who is Louis Braille. He was a French guy and he was also blind, and he created this communication system for those who have lost the sense of sight, or like somehow like they were born under this condition, you know, so they are currently like visually impaired. One more thing that I would like to mention is that Braille is based on military code that is called night writing, and it has this name because it took place during the war. So the purpose of this was like interaction among the members of the army without being caught by the enemy. So, and the important thing of this was it took place like during the night. So this is why it called this way. Here we have an idea of how it works. So first of all, we have what you need to know about this is Braille works with the sense of touch. So you will be reading while you are passing your fingerprints through a piece of paper with an embossed effect. I don't know if that makes sense to you guys, but I will explain a little bit better. So we have a template, as you can see right here. And this template, it's a kind of pattern that it has like 2 columns and 3 rows. What you will need to do is holding the spaces in order to represent the symbol that you want to express with a kind of tool that is like an awl. I don't know if you're familiar with this kind of tool. It's similar to a needle to hold the spaces. So let's move on. So here we have an alphabet as any other language. Braille has its own alphabet. And what you need to know about this is it comes in 3 main groups. So each set has 10 letters, like 10 items. So let's check the first group. It goes from letter A to the letter J. And as you can see, there is no particular order, right? But if we take a look to the second group, it goes from the letter K to the letter T, but in this group, if you're comparing to the previous group, it has the exact same word, but in this case, we're filling the lower left corner with an extra dot. And the final group has 5 items from the letter U to the letter Z plus the W letter. So in the final group, we have 5 items, and if we check, it has the exact same order as the previous group, which is the second one, but in this case, we're filling the missing space, which is the lower right corner. And this method is called mirror filling because we are like filling the missing space that it's right next to the previous one. Okay, you might be asking yourself, why is the W letter at the end? It's just because, as I said before, it was invented by a French guy, and in French, they don't use W. So they added this letter at the end of the whole concept. So hold on. Okay, here we have something that I like to call shortcuts. I like to call shortcuts just because it's a simple way to make a whole word or a syllable or a sound in just one character, you know, in just one symbol. And they were created for those that are commonly used like in our daily life. And take a look of some of them. We have N for the ing ending, able ending, so, still, just, and were. Let's focus on the technique. On the technique, we have the reading part and the writing part. If we're reading in Braille, what we need to do is follow like the conventional way, you know, from left side to the right side. You just need to like passing like your fingerprints through the piece of writing, and you will be able to read in this kind of language. But when you are like writing, what you need to do is use a kind of template that is made of like plastic or metal, and you will be holding the spaces that you need to do, like you need to hold to represent the symbols. And once you are done with the writing part, what you need to do is put your sheet of paper, like your piece of paper, face down, and you will get that order, you know, from left to right, and you will get this emboss effect. So to conclude, I would like to mention some fun facts. And the first one, like in first place, we have on January 4th, World Braille Day is celebrated, and it takes place this day because it's the Louis Braille's birthday. And second place, we have Braille is certified by ISO under the code 15924. And as you know, ISO is International Organization of Standardization. And finally, last but not least, we have that there are 125 varieties of Braille alphabets. And this is because, as you know, like there are so many languages around the world, right? And there are some of them that they don't use like the conventional alphabet as we know. So there are languages like Arabic or Korean that they use like different symbols. So that's why. Thank you very much. That will be all.
Thank you, Oigo. That was great. I do have a question for you. I don't know, guys, if you have any questions. I'm going to start by asking mine, and is, Oigo, why did you decide to do your presentation about this topic?
To be honest, I know that everyone was going to go in the way, like, you know, about their jobs and their professions. And I think it was a great opportunity for like studying or, you know, about something new. And it was an excuse to get some vocabulary. And I'm always like that, you know, like I'm always interested like about learning some new things. And I thought it was a perfect excuse.
Okay, so this has nothing to do with a member of your family who is visually impaired or anything like that. No.
No, well, actually, myself, I'm kind of blind. No, I'm kidding. But yes, you know, I have one of those kind of illness, but I can see.
Okay. Okay, any questions for Oigo? Okay, it seems there isn't any, or there aren't any. So next is going to be Diana. Diana.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Hi everybody, my name is Diana Huitrago, and today I will talk about investigation and coffee. In 1927, Colombian coffee growers came together to create an organization that would represent them nationally and internationally, and that would ensure their well-being and the improvement their quality of life. Thus was born the National Federation of Coffee Growers of Colombia, FNC, considered today as one of the most prominent rural NGOs in the world. In 1938, the FNC created the National Coffee Research Center, CENICAFE, to study aspects related to farm production, harvest, processing, grain quality, management and use of byproducts of the coffee exploitation, and the conservation of the natural resources of the Colombian coffee zone. CENICAFE is located in Manizales Caldas, in the natural reserve of Plan Alto, which occupies 79 hectares. CENICAFE has 8 experimental stations distributed in the 3 mountain ranges located in Chinchiná, in Cesar, Santander, Antioquia, Quindío, Pereira, Tolima, y Cauca. These experimental stations meet the representative environmental conditions of most of the coffee farms in the country. The center has researchers trained in the disciplines that constitute the most essential areas of knowledge to address the coffee problem. We'll mention someone. Agroclimatology. It has a network of 314 observation posts in 15 coffee growing departments. This meteorological monitoring helps to understand the plant's response to the climate. Biometrics. This area supports in the statistical aspect of the all investigations. Quality. Controls of different processes that have an impact on the physical quality, sensory, and chemical composition of the coffee. Disclosure and transfer carry out the edition, layout, and publication of technical advances, magazines, books, etc. Economy. This area studies and technologies of production costs. Entomology is about biology of coffee pests and their natural enemies. Experimentation provides seed to coffee committees and technical administrative coordination of the 8 experimental stages. Plant pathology is integrated management of coffee diseases. Plant breeding, coffee tree renovation. Genetic improvement is about development of improved varieties, development of new varieties, for example, Senicafe 1. Post-harvest is about applications of new technologies for harvesting and with coffee processing. Soils. This area is about soil fertility, coffee nutrition, and soil conservation. And finally, TICS is about information system and administrative management of investigations, mobile application development. And the results of all these areas are published and distributed as scientific papers for the international research community or newsletters aimed at farmers of the coffee zone through the website and the extension service. Thank you.
Thank you, Diana. How did you feel?
Good.
Yeah? That was very good. That was very good. Congratulations. Thanks a lot. Do you have any questions for Diana? Guys, questions? Nothing?
No, I only have to say that I love this company because in that place I did my practice, university practice, and it was so awesome. They
Great.
do incredible things.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you very much. Okay. The next person is Catherine. Catherine, you ready? Catherine.
Teacher, give me a second. Darren,
course.
from my cell phone.
Of
And I
course.
forgot.
Oh, okay. Right, so we got 11 viewers at the moment, guys. Okay, Catherine, ready when you are.
Well, first of all, let
Hey,
me see.
Catherine, it seems you have two devices with the volume on. You should
Yes.
turn one of them down. Okay. Microphone is off, by the way.
Okay. There.
Yeah.
Well,
Got
first of all, let me introduce myself. I am Liliana Catherine Diaz, and I will go to talk about Harry Potter. Harry Potter is a series of books that were written by J.K. Rowling. Well, that is a writer from UK, and she's pretty well known by those books, and she had like a tough hard a tough life when she was doing that, because she was a single mother and she was almost poor in that time. But well, that idea of the books.
Catherine, let me interrupt you for a minute. It seems your audio is not that good. So try to fix your microphone a little bit because it doesn't sound good at all. Yeah.
Do you listen me there properly or not?
It seems it's a little better. Yeah.
Or I try with my computer. Do you listen? Oh my God, wait. Do you listen there were?
I think it's better. I think it's better now.
Okay. Well, but in this moment, I will go to talk about specifically about Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. That is the first book that J.K. Rowling wrote, and was the one that gave him all the fame to become the writer that she is in this moment. Pretty well known. Well, Harry Potter lost his father at a very young age. For that reason, he had to live with Petunia and Beno, who were their aunts. The aunt with Dudley, that was the son of Petunia and Beno. Well, he was like a person that had a pretty sad story because he was mistreated by them, and even he never received any gift of birthday or something or things like that. And even he lived under the stairs because, well, he was not a person that was loved by them. But everything changed when a letter came to that house, and well, in that letter they said that Harry was like admitted to a pretty well-known school of magic placed at Hogwarts. But the funny thing is that their parents, or more than parents, that their family didn't want it, that he go to that school because Petunia thought that her sister just died because of the magic and all that crazy things. She thought that all those things were like a crazy thing. But the trouble was that they started to receive a lot of letters in unusual ways, and they were becoming like crazy because of that. Well, in one of the things, they went like to a hut to hide themselves from that letters. But the trouble was that Hagrid, one of the persons or what that worked there, went to that place and gave to Harry the letter. And a birthday cake too was the best day of his life because he never received like all that love. Well, then Harry and Hagrid went to an alley where they bought a lot of things for the school, and there he met with Draco Malfoy, that is like the bad guy, one of the bad guys of the story, and was a bully. And well, he mistreated to Harry. Then they went to the school and he met with the Wesleys, and they went by train to Hogwarts. And then, well, they have a great time there. Then they went to the school and they have like a ceremony where I had shows to what of the 4 houses they will go to be for the next almost 7 years. And well, in the case of Harry, Ron, and Hermione, they went to Gryffindor. And Malfoy was at Slytherin. The curious thing was that Harry was chosen in the same house that their parents, and the other thing is that they had like doubts if the best place was Gryffindor or Slytherin for him, because he had like something bad inside of him. Well, next they have like a lot of classes. For example, they have classes and those kind of things. But in the case of the classes with Snape, Severus Snape, well, was horrible because Harry thought that Snape was an evil person and that he doesn't love him because he treated him so bad. Well, but at the flying lessons, they have like a big surprise because they realized that Harry had like a natural gift for to fly and do that kind of things. And for that reason, McGonagall, that was like the head of the house of Gryffindor's house, invited him to be the seeker of the Quidditch team, and even gave him an Nimbus 2000. I don't remember well. Well, was a great gift because he was the youngest boy to be a seeker in all the Quidditch history of the school. And you received like an special gift that was an invisible cloak that was of his father. Well, he had like a lot of adventures, played in Quidditch, and he was the youngest seeker in a century, as I told you. Well, in those moments, well, later, they have like a lot of discussions with Hermione because she was like a big mouth. Ron and Harry didn't feel like so comfortable about that. But in one of those moments, a troll went to the dungeon, and the trouble was that Hermione was there. Well, Ron and Harry risked their lives just to save her. Then they have like a lot of doubts because an unicorn and a lot of animals were enslaved and killed, and then they started like a trip, like a quest to know what was going on in the school. For that reason, they faced like a lot of things. For example, a three-head dog, but they relaxed them with music. And then like with a plant that was called Devil Snare. But in that case, they just need to be relaxed. And in that way, they get free of that. And the other challenges that they have was a magic chess. But well, the good thing was that Ron was pretty good in that. And then they won that game. And next, they realized that Snape was not the bad guy. That was Quirrell, that was the teacher of dark magic. The reality was that he had like a parasite and was like a trace, a part of Lord Voldemort. That was the guy that killed Harry's parents. And well, they defeated him. And I forgot this one. That was other of the challenges that they have. That was like a lot of flying keys, and they have to choose the right one. And at the end, thanks to that bravery and all that qualities that they have, they won the cup, the house's cup, and they received a lot of points of Dumbledore, that was the head of Hogwarts. And that's it.
Thank you, Catherine. Thank you very much. Okay, so I see you're a big fan of Harry Potter, aren't you?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Okay. Do you guys have any questions for Catherine? Anybody?
No,
Okay.
just congratulations. It was more than complete, actually.
Right. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Jairo, you're next.
Teacher. Compartir. One moment. Yes. Good evening. Today I have I speak about the topic. This topic is the desertification. The desertification is the expansion, the area of the desert. In consequence, the degradation, the land ecology by climatic variation. This is a change can be temporary or permanent, but in the moment is only permanent because the desertification is consequence of the consumerism. When the consumerism decrease, the desertification area decrease. In the last time, the global temperature rise product the bird force influence. The bird force influence are modifying the concentration the word constituents. Yes. The emission of the greenhouses, the greenhouses gases, modifying the weather and among the climatic event causes no. The other is the global atmospheric concentration is carbon dioxide, nitrous oxide, and other gases has increased as a result the activity human and agriculture. The causes of the desertification is the first is the deforestation, the overgrazing, the nutrient poor soil, the fluent flood, and mining. Deforestation occurs when the forest area is cut and cleaned to make a way the agriculture and grazing. In the last Saturday, I read an article about the four commodities. These commodities are responsible of the deforestation. But what is the name of these commodities? Is the beef, the palm oil, the soil, and the coal in the wood. Yes, overgrazing occurs when the plants is exposed to grazing for long time. The other is the poor the poor soil when the when the soil when the soil decrease quality of the result the inability for support the animal and plants. The other is the wood. The fluent wood, the developing the countries, the people use the fluent the energy of the wood, and is the miner. The meaning when the miner is the of the topsoil, the nutrients in the soil decrease. One moment. Strategy to reduce the desertification. The first is planting more trees because the root of the tree hold the soil. The other is improving the quality of soil. Where the people can use the Eso se llama manure, the manure of the animals for fertilize the soil. And the last is the magic rain. This is the rain of the stone in the area of the desert. The result of this area, this rain is amount the amount the I don't know the humedad. How do you say humedad?
Humidity?
The humidity in the soil. No more. This is my presentation.
Thank you, Jairo. Thank you very much. Any questions for Jairo? Okay. Next presenter is going to be Mr. Sebastian, please.
Excuse me.
Catherine, I think you have a question in the chat of the YouTube live, I think. I don't know.
Yes, my sister read to me. Well, I believe that his role was pretty. Oh, wait.
I think, Catherine, you can reply there in the chat box, yeah?
It's better.
Okay.
Can you hear me, teacher?
Sebastian, exactly. The microphone is kind of low sound.
Yeah.
Not that much.
Yo estoy conectada.
So give me a sec. I'm gonna connect you. From my cell phone.
Y una como sirve.
Teacher, can you turn off microphone?
I just did, or I'm not sure why I can't. Let me see if I can do it. Ah, yeah. Wow. Wait. I can't. I don't know why.
Jairo.
Jairo, please turn off your microphone.
Jairo.
Jairo, the microphone, please. I can't. I don't know why.
No problem.
I keep trying and trying.
Teacher, can you hear me?
I can now. I
Oh,
can now, Sebastian.
Is echo? No?
Echo. Probably you should turn down the volume of one of your devices.
Yep. Check, please. No. Okay.
It seems to be okay now, yeah?
Okay, teacher. Hello, everyone. My name is Sebastian Pineda. I'm going to talking about my profession. Is professional in gastronomy, but is very known as chef. But in this moment, chef is a name I give to the person who has more or less 10 years or more of experience in the kitchen. It's like a prestige. It's not a title in tangible. It's like that. I have some type of gastronomy, yeah, but I don't know, the most common gastronomy in this moment is national gastronomy and gourmet gastronomy. You can see this gastronomy everywhere, and the most strange, or I don't know how to say, is fusion or molecular gastronomy. Yeah, give me a sec. Yeah, because I don't know, in several restaurants in Manizales are using liquid nitrogen to as a decorate element, or to call some food that need it. Yeah. No second. Okay, teacher. In the kitchen, there is a brigade kitchen. Yeah. But in this moment, in many cities and many restaurants, doesn't exist. Just exist, I don't know, chef and sous chef and rosticer. I don't know how to say in French. Jairo can help me with that. And I don't know, all of them play of the roles. Mm, all. Give me a sec. But the original brigade in the kitchen is all that. For example, the plunger is who washes the dishes. Is like a steward. Is there no like a steward in Colombia, or I don't know. Or saucier is the person who make the sauce for the some foods, all type of sauces. I don't know. We have some advantages, disadvantages in the kitchen. One of them is disadvantages physically demanding, because I don't know, you can work around to 10 hours or 12 hours per day. Yeah, it's very physical tired. Yeah, and can be unstable for the same reason. Yeah, because some people, I don't know, they like is very tired or is very annoyed, and just left the work. There is there are some information about that. For example, in this information is I was talking about that. And chefs can develop one or more addictions. Yeah. For example, I have an addiction with energy drinks. Yeah. With energy drinks, I drank 1 6-pack per day of Red Bull. I don't know, around 10 hours, like my work shift. That was my work shift, mi turno de trabajo. And I don't know, I think that was my unique addition. Well, if I can remember, yeah. And I have a personal information. This person is Marco Pieruay, is my international idol. I love I love him because Marco was a judge in some master chefs around the world. Was a judge, and he was the unique person that I don't remember. Give me a sec. I don't got it. But he was the unique person that makes try to Gordon Ramsay. Gordon Ramsay is the the hardest chef in the world so far. So has a character, I don't know, very strong. And my national idol is Jorge Rauch. I love Jorge Rauch because he had some restaurants for 40 years ago. The Criterion is the most important restaurant in Bogota. So, teacher, that's it. That was my presentation.
Thank you very much, Sebastian. Do you have any questions for Mr. Sebastian? Okay, Sebastian, I do have some questions for you. Okay. The first question is, would you participate in a MasterChef?
Yes, teacher. In a moment, I don't know. I don't know. 7 years ago, I think the I don't know how to say formulario
Forms?
forms. Yeah.
Application
So,
form? Mhm.
to MasterChef Junior, but I can because I was um, 13 years 13 years. I don't remember, but it's just in a specific age, so I can cook. And
Mhm.
as Marta, I know, but my work was demanding that
Okay.
was very stressful.
Right. Okay. The second question I have for you, Sebastian, is what your opinion, your personal opinion on this guy, Gordon Ramsay. What do you think about him?
Gordon Ramsay. Well, teacher, I think he's a person. I don't know how to say idónea, muy very like a firme,
Okay. Strict.
yeah, and a strong character.
Mhm.
So I think it that helps him to be what it is.
Where he is. Right.
Mhm.
Okay. Okay. Sebastian, thank you. Any questions for Mr. Sebastian, people? No? Okay. Valentina, you're next.
Yes, teacher.
¿Para dónde va?
Sebastian, you also have a suggestion in the chat box of the live YouTube thing.
Yes, teacher. I use answer.
Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so welcome. I will talk about Colombian fashion industry. Let me try to, yes, right. Okay. As you know, we have been lived through a historical period called pandemic about, I think, 1 year and 4 months ago. It started to change our lives. So in that way, the fashion companies start to do new clothes. People will want to be beautiful, but also have clothes that don't run the risk of infection. And we started to do face mask and then we proceed with overalls to medical team, and now we do a different kind of clothes and return to the normal products. In this moment, we are compete with against China companies in China, and we still doing our best because we need to improve our suppliers and compete in three ways: response time, product quality, and develop of new products. So in that way, we need to work in a better way with our suppliers and need to do in company our best. Mm, China has the power of develop because they only need 2 or 3 days to do new things. But in Colombia, we need at least 15 days, and it is terrible for us in many things that we need: accessories, fabrics, and many things. So in that way, we need to improve. And if we can do, we we improve our response time, and of course have new products. Okay, in Colombia we offer three main types of products: full package services. That means we have all of things that we need to do a new product or your product that already do. We we can offer design because in our country we have many designers that they were known. So it is one important thing. And the third one is maquila. I'm not sure if it is an Spanish, but in our country calls maquila services, and it is a kind of product or services that we do, and in that type of services we put our handful, and the customer sell to us or give us the different products and accessories.
Valentina, I'm sorry to interrupt for a minute. This maquila is outsourcing, isn't it?
Maybe could be, yes. Okay, in this way, a fashion industry becomes a certain employed, and as you know, in fact, the most of our country employ mothers heads of household, and it is an important part of these companies. Young people that start to work and practitioners. In our country, we have two important opening markets that's called Colombia Moda and Colombia Test. And in those opening markets contribute to the economy reactivation of the textile and fashion industry, and exhibiting, about 500 international and national companies meeting face to face, virtually, presential. And in the opening markets, sell different kind of products, um, supplies, full package, jeans, shoes, sportwear, control garments, and different kind of things. Mm, Fashion consumption in the country does not cease, although in the first stage of the pandemic, we started to face masks, but fashion seems to have returned to normality with high consumption, not only of comfortable garments, but also jeans, sneakers, t-shirts, and beachwear. The textile industry is one of the most important areas of Colombian manufacturing. The textile apparel sector is considered one of the most dynamic and traditional industries in the economy history in our country. Um, no, and that's all. Thanks.
Thank you, Valentina. Do you have any questions for Valentina, people? Thank you very much. Okay. We'll carry on with Mr. Miguel. Miguel, you're next, man.
Okay, teacher, let me share my presentation.
Okay.
You can see my...
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Good evening for everyone. My presentation is about the Bojayá massacre. With this activity, I would like to do a small historical memory about something painful for us. Also, it's an activity of recovery of historical memory. Bojayá, a forgotten place. Bojayá is a town. It's a town this town is located on the Colombian Pacific coast in the department of Chocó. Its economy is mainly related to fishing and agriculture, and its people is most indigenous and Afro-Colombian ethnic groups predominate in this place. The context about this situation. This sad episode happened on May 2nd, 2002, in a town of Bellavista, Bojayá municipality, and Chocó department. In this place, there was a confrontation between the FARC guerrillas and paramilitary groups. That confrontation resulted in the death of 119 civilians who were hiding in a church. Also, there was complicity of Colombia Army because they knew the path of the paramilitary groups and they didn't do anything for avoiding the confrontation. So this is for me, the worst part in this sad history. Chocó department, how you know, is one of the poorest and most forgotten places in Colombia. So historically has been the center of different types of problems, such as state absence, that means complex living condition due to the lack of schools, hospitals, and job opportunities, among many others. Also, different groups have controlled the zone due to its natural wealth and the possibility of being a drug trafficking route due to its proximity to the Pacific Ocean and Atlantic Sea. In other words, the love of the strongest has prevailed, and violence and blood are part of the lives of men and women in this place. You can see the church after the attack. This attack was a pipette with chaplain, you know, was terrible. Look the place. Some main causes about Bojayá massacre. One of them is a territorial dispute between drug cartels, paramilitary, and guerrillas for drug trafficking routes. The second, some main cause is abandon of the national and local government to the Bojayá citizens. Another one, recurrent violation of human rights to Afro-Colombian population and indigenous. And the other one, omission of the Colombian military forces. You can see all these kind of problems. Of course, these have main consequences. Bojayá, I'm sorry. Some main consequences about these problems. Death of 119 civilians inside a church who were used as a human child. Destruction of a large part of the Bojayá town. Forced displacement of the surviving population. And increasing of historical problems, specifically the fear of the civilian population to build worthy life projects. Bojayá nowadays, the new town was rebuilt on a kilometer for the old Bella Vista. Today, 19 years after the tragedy, daily life is marked by the fear that something similar could happen again. At least that is how the inhabitants express it, who know it's certain their territory is once again invaded by illegal armed groups. This time, like ELN and Clan del Golfo are in dispute and are living under wake extortion, confinement, displacement, and recruitment of minors and homicides. So the situation is terrible for these people, even now, even today. Some other massacres in Colombia, Trujillo massacre, La Rochela massacre, massacre of Del Aro, massacre of Mapiripán, massacre of El Salado. Colombia has a large tradition in these painful and horrible events. So with this activity, I just would like to recover something about that. Is all, teacher.
Okay. Wow, Miguel, wow. I just want to ask you, why did you choose such a controversial and painful topic for your presentation?
Good question, teacher. I think these kind of spaces, this kind of moments is important for telling for some people who know we live in Colombia, but most of people don't know about his history, about our history.
That is true. And there is a common denominator in all these stories. And you know, this kind of topics really are really part of my life, you know. They are really critical for me as well, you know, because my family was also victim of this violence. And there are a lot of things that I would never be able to understand. So thank you very much, Miguel. Do you have any questions for Miguel? Okay, Miguel, thanks a lot, man. Thanks very much. Now, the next person is going to be Fernanda. Fernanda, you're next.
Okay, so can you see now?
Yeah, yes, we can.
Okay, the topic I choose for today's presentation is a series that I have been watching over the last months. Is called How I Met Your Mother. So this series has nine seasons, and each season has around 20 and 24 episodes. And the episodes are not so longer, it's over 20 and 22 minutes. The first episode was present in September 19 of 2005, and the last episode was present in March 31 on 2014. So the principal characters of this series is Ted, Robin, Lily, Marshall, and Barney. So this is practically Ted tell the story of how he met his wife to their children. But most that how he met his wife is the history of all his friends and all the group and all the things, the crazy things they do, and how and what happened between them. So first is how Ted and Marshall meet each other, then Marshall and Lily fall in love, and their first group was their dream. Then Barney comes in the group, and the last one was Robin, and they have a very long friendship. So now a little bit of the history of each one is Ted. Ted was a very romantic guy, so he was looking for a girl who he can marry. So he dated a lot of women, and a lot of things happened to him. The next is Barney. Barney is afraid of commitment, and he doesn't want to have kids. So he is more like a ladies man, and he's the typical guy in the movies who causes troubles and is just like that. And he only has 3 serious relationships. And Robin is so similar to Barney because she doesn't want to have kids either. She doesn't get engaged, but she like to have dates, and she also date a lot of men. And the last one was Marshall and Lily. Marshall is a lawyer, and Lily is a kinder teacher, and they meet when they're in college. So it's a really cute history, and they're so like cute and lovely, and they married and have children, and a lot of things happen to them, but they always like fall in love, and they always been with them too. And Robin is a journalist, so she is very a work person. Barney, nobody knows what he does for living until the last season, and Ted is our architecture. And a warning is that this series has like a little inappropriate language and jokes, but no so serious. So I'm going to show a short video of some essence. And ¿qué se hizo?
Probably you will have to share the audio as well. The audio is not being shared.
I know.
Yeah.
I don't know how.
Okay, I'm gonna stop sharing for a minute. You share again, but make sure you tick a little box that says share audio, I believe. It's the one to the far left in the sharing box.
Okay. No.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's it.
What is the name of this series?
It's called How I Met Your Mother.
Okay. Right, thank you very much, Fernanda. And the next person to present is Mr. Martin.
Hello, teacher. Okay, give me a second.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can.
Okay, guys, hello. This time I want to talk about a topic that is not being given enough importance, at least not for this government. The topic is the child disconnection with the society in the context of technology, right? Okay. Now, the traditional childhood versus the new technology. In that case, maybe we have realized, that the parks are alone, and the only thing is an irresponsible use of the technology, right? It's a very recurrent case in every day. For this reason, we can see parks alone and children slavered by electronic devices, right? The parents who are in charge of the early education of the child, they manage to see in the technology an easy way for the education for their children. Unfortunately, they end up leaving parenting and education in the hands of electronic devices, and this is very sad for our child. It's sad to see a child concerned about their status on Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, when children should just play, interact with like other child, right? Children need to learn to share with another children face to face, right? Not using Facebook for status or dance it with a TikTok or that thing, right? I'm sorry. And this point we should ask ourselves, do you want Android technology to raise our children? Android or Apple? You know what I mean? No, not matter about Android or Apple. Without realize we're allowing children to evidence the stress and early depression, and we cannot allow that to happen. Is very sad for this reason. The children have depressed, early depressed. The rate of the suicide is very high in the other countries, for the USA, Europe, because the parents disconnect the education of the children and they can put in hand the electronic devices, YouTube, website, and that. And the telecommunication technology has allowed us to connect to the whole world without leaving the home. I can visit the I don't know, the Louvre Museum, for example, in the website. But at this point, as do we want our children not to leave their home or their houses? This is the reason. We must guarantee the support on the proper use of these technologies. Not only give the cell phone with a child 5 years ago, for example, because is the not responsible use of this technology is more information in only devices, and the child is total access and this information. For this reason, is very dangerous for the education for the child. No control this information is very dangerous for I don't know, the grow up of the child. Okay, the best positioned families, for example, today by today, given unlimited access to the little child to the old technologies, cell phone, consoles, console of the video game, but in that case with the internet access, with a PlayStation, Xbox, and the other console, computer, tablet. Let's us think for a moment. Is this the little child are the future? This is the little child. What would you feel emotional as an adult? How do you experiment the feeling this child connect every time with these devices? Think about it, guys. What I mentioned about the maybe some classes, but it's real panorama of the situation of Colombia and another country, right? Because the people of low resources or poor, yeah, dedicate to raise their children with love, inculcating beautiful values, so that they grow up and be exemplary adults, because she feel the necessity for the I don't know, how do you say salir adelante, teacher? I'm sorry.
Succeed in life?
Exactly, succeed in life. You need this, succeed in life. Help for the mother, father, your brother, and that's it. Oh, in that case, they're friends, right? And we don't let our future by driving by lazy hands depend on electronic devices. Yes? Let's inculcate each person the importance of raising and understanding our childhood in an objective and human way. Please. We don't leave the raising of the childhood to Max Zuckerberg or San Jimmy. Please. This is not responsible for education for your child. Or not your child, your cousin, every child. You know it, right? And for the rest presentation, this phrase, remember, hard time create a strong man create good time create weak man, and weak man create hard time. Depends on you what time you want to be, right? And that's it. This topic is very controversial, guys and teachers, because it's not, I don't know, I wish that this government only think is the food is solution for our childhood, for example, our child. Only food is the solution of all the problems. But the eyes, put on the eyes in the technology education is not the same for the government. Only, how did you say, rellenar un pavo, for example? This is the phrase.
Fill in a turkey? No, fill up a turkey.
Fill up the turkey. For example, teacher, it is only food, and the rest, nothing about the education. Need the control about this technology and education. And that's it, teacher. Thank you so much.
Okay, man. Thank you very much, Martin. Thanks a lot. Okay. Mr. Santiago, you're up next. Santiago is here. Santiago? He is not here. Okay, so if oh, Santiago is here.
Yes.
Hey, Santiago. Okay.
How are you doing, teacher?
Yeah, all right. You ready?
I think so.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, let me do. I do a little move here, and I begin.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, teacher, can you do me a favor to put the PPT because I'm in the cell phone and I can't do it like
right. Okay, one sec. Okay, man.
Okay, I have to turn my camera on, right? I have to.
If you want, Santiago.
Okay. Okay. My name is Eric Santiago Loaiza, and today I'm going to talk about hip hop and like a society tale. I have a question for you guys and for you, teacher. You know a little about hip hop or rap? Something about that? Have you ever heard this one time or something about that? Someone,
Yes, I have.
you know what is that, and
Of
you can
course.
recognize them.
I guess so. I don't know.
What you know a little about that? Something.
Yeah, I know. Well, the biggest ones I would say are Eminem. No, I would say his rap, isn't he? Also Macklemore. I would say Macklemore is more kind of pop, but also mixed with rap, I guess. And I would say Macklemore is one of my favorite artists.
Okay. One important like thing that you should or you must know about the hip hop or rap is that they always are going to be against the law. Always. They're going to be fighting with them. Why? Because hip hop is like something different about the other ones. For example, how you say about Eminem. Eminem, it's a white guy who comes out of, if I'm right, from New York. Yeah. And was in a community that the white people can't stay there. And he went out of there being white and doing that a thing that says only do it like that people out there. Okay, the presentation, teacher, please, the next one. Teacher, ready?
I don't know. Can you see it or not?
No, I only seen in hip hop and society the first one.
I don't know. Let's see if this, look. Yeah?
Yeah. Okay, the hip hop definition. This hip hop begins with was a culture movement that only was the only rap.
Santiago, I'm going to continue, man. I'm trying to fix something for here so I can continue presenting.
Okay. The hip hop was more than music, was graffiti, b-boys, and MCs, masters microphone. I'm going to tell you about these three things. For example, the graffiti painting is like we see in the streets, in murals, and what else? For example, the graffiti that are doing nowadays are about the paro. You can see one in the Cable, and the other one is in where? In La Sultana. Okay, the b-boy is like the dancing about this. That is like are really hard movements that are in the floor. And there you can express like dance. How can I say like that? Like dance with this boom bap. Like the boom bap is the how can I say it? Is with the drum. For example, the bass, that boom bap, you can hear it in the rock. Always. For example, it's always this. You can hear it like this. This is the boom bap. You hear it like the bass. Always. It's 3 times. That's like the thing that you can recognize that is hip hop or rap. is the same, but the rap begins in 90s in a movement against the law. Teacher, the other one. The origins and the old school all begins in 80s, 80, 85 begins. The first one was a DJ, was doing like reggae, something like Caribbean rhythms. And one day he says, why I don't put like this boom bap? Because that boom bap comes from Africa, from the native music of Africa. And this begins in the discourse. Then of that goes to the streets. And then of that begins like being a viral movement of like, how can I say it? Like to be free, being other things that you don't see it. That you recognize, you can recognize them for his clothes, for example, using baggy pants, big shirts, caps, having like some tattoos, earrings, have piercings. What else? And in USA are like two gang bands that are Crips and Bloods, and you can recognize this for this, for the balaclava. That is a very long story. Now, okay, and from this old school appears Nelly, LL Cool J, appears Fugees, that is like Caribbean rhythm and boom bap, and there you can see like the pure hip hop. Okay, the other one, teacher, please. The new school begins 95 to nowadays. The style has changed a little bit, but for example, in 90s begin the gangsta rap. What is it? The gangsta rap was against to the law. For example, NWA. That was like a movement with Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, Eazy-E, DJ Jella, and who is the other one? Any other one. Those guys begins a movement in the ghetto of USA, and was saying like in those songs says that was what was happening in that hoods. For example, says, why if you dress like a gang, you don't have to be a gang. You only use that clothes because yes. And all of those things, then of that appears Tupac, appears Eminem, 50 Cent, and more of them become appearing in 2000 appears Lil Wayne. But that gangsta rap become changing for more romantic, from like slow, going like to the past, but with a new lyrics. For example, one of these chains was like a big problem because the old rapper says that couldn't be like that because lose like the originality of that. But the early ones is not, but the era changed, so the people are going to be like, why is still there? You're the one, teacher. Hip hop nowadays. How can I say? All the people can do rap because rap nowadays is kind of easy to do it because all people say that they live like that they have guns, they have a lot of girls, a lot of things that can say that. And I think that, how can you say it? Defraudar.
disappoint.
Like they disappoint the name of be a rapper because all they say is that if you have a gun and you have tattoos in your face and you have a lot, you have chains, rings, you are a rapper. Okay, maybe you think like that, but no, they are like, nah, I'll can do it. It's no problem, but for example, nowadays Eminem says to Snoop Dogg that why he do a song with a new one with a old new school rapper. Snoop Dogg says what have that problem is I'm only helping him. It's a very controversial like thing to talk about, but it's interesting. For example, what else? No, nowadays I don't know. For example, like 30 years ago, was kind of scary see someone using like baggy pants, a big shirt, and you say like you was like wow, he's not like oh so like me using like normal clothes. And nowadays you see someone like that and you say like normal, you only see it. And it's kind of rarely that no see someone with that kind of clothes. Always. You go to a store and you see someone with that clothes or with that hairstyle or with this piercing or something like that. And hip hop that has a big movement in all of these things. For example, in the styles, haircuts, in the way to talk. Too. For example, to say hello, they say like only one word. How are you? They only say, hey. Yeah, that's all. I don't know why it's like that. Or for example, you hear like a rapper to say, yeah, right. They only say, yeah. They talk like very shortly. The other one, teacher. The conclusion about hip hop. Hip hop was like a very important movement, like all the things. But I think the most important that is that not criticize the people for his clothes or for his tattoos or for the thing that he like. Doesn't care about it. That people could be more better than us and could earn more than us. Sometimes you see like people in TV and you say how he has more money than me. If he's like kind of crazy, have tattoos in his faces. They don't care, they just do their things. And that must be like that. And express the things not with violence. With music, doing something, dancing. That's the thing that we must know. That in this country must know. All the movement need to know. And I'm right. That's all.
Thank you, Santiago. Thank you very much. Okay. Now, we're going to continue with Mr. Nicolas. Nicolas, please.
Okay, teacher. Teacher, can you see?
Yeah.
Okay.
Guys, wait, just a second just for a minute, Nicolas. Guys, feel free to leave if the clock marks the 40 minutes. You feel free to go. Okay. Tomorrow we're going to work on the general review for the final exam. Okay. So Nicolas, go ahead.
Okay, thank you. Good evening, everybody. My name is Nicolas Trujillo, and today I'm going to talk about environmental impacts of animal production. Okay. First of all, the current situation of our planet is a topic that should be of interest to all of us. due to our quality of life and future generations depend on it. Since, since the beginning of the new geological era of the Anthropocene, the world populations has increased more and more, and also the increased and uncontrolled consumption of the natural resources. Okay, in this presentation, the emphasis will be specifically on the environmental impacts of animal production, right? Taking into account that the great majority of humans consume some type of meat daily, being it like beef, pork, or fish. And according to a report by the Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, livestock production emits more greenhouse gases than the transportation sector. Okay, first, growing feed crops for livestock. Okay, fertile land to grow cereals such as soybeans, which are the basis of farm animal feed, represent 1/3 of the Earth's ice. Excuse me, represent 1/3 of the Earth's ice-free land. Okay, there are no cereals planted to feed the entire world population, but only a small percentage is destined for human consumption. This activity has environmental impacts due to high water use and the use of agrochemicals and fertilizers, which generate contamination of aquifers and loss of fertile soil or increase in greenhouse effect gases. Okay, livestock. Okay, to feed livestock require large quantities of water, and the water consumption of the livestock, the range are between 34 and 76 billion gallons per year, not counting the water used in the production of meat. Okay, on the other hand, livestock farming produce a large amount of waste that it is often not properly managed, right? This waste generates a lot of emissions of methane by the digestions of the cows. Every minute, only animals raised for food in the United States produce 7 million pounds of waste every minute. Right. The next one is fishing industry. Okay, in the context of fishing, many impacts for the many impacts are generated in the ecosystem, in the marine ecosystem, because for each pound of fish caught, around of up to 5 pounds of unwanted marine species are caught and discarded. Scientists estimate that fishing ships kill up to 650,000 whales, dolphins, and seals each year. And according with our research, we could see fishless oceans by 2048. Finally, as a conclusion, it's necessary to know where our food or where our food comes from. That in order to stop supporting those industries, mainly supermarkets and restaurants that affect the environment in their production process. Thank you very much for pay attention. That's it.
Nicolas, thank you. Guys, I sent you a message in the chat box, and it's basically that our class starts tomorrow at 6:30. Alejandra, please get ready tomorrow for the first presentation of our session, okay? Right after Alejandro's presentation, we continue with our review for the final exam. Guys, thank you very much. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank you, teacher.